It's time to sit back and check out the RCWR show with Lee Sanders. Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From hit TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond, while trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your hosts, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
I don't think we want to do that one. I might have to go with this one for tonight. Hang on. No, you guys still are not hearing me. Wait a minute. I don't think we want to do that one. Yeah, you guys can hear me. Okay. We're gonna have to do this one for tonight. I don't know what's going on, but my mixer, everything is connected, and yet for some weird reason, when I'm looking at the drop down, what I normally select, it's not available. It's very, very weird. So yeah, we're going to be relying on the mic. What is this? The MacBook. We're relying on the MacBook audio for tonight's show. I guess it sounds good. Yeah, let me just play this back and see what you guys are I guess as long as you guys can hear me crystal clear, it's all good, right? Let me just play this back and see what you guys that sounds kind of good. Yeah. I guess as long as you. Yeah, okay. All right. I guess that's good. All right. What's up, fam? Lee Sanders with you guys. You're checking out episode number 1100, and this is either 39 or 40 of the RCWR show, covering the latest in all things wrestling, entertainment, and beyond since 2011. And Jay the God, you should be able to hear sound now. I'm very well aware there was no sound. I literally that's why I kept doing this finger gesture, saying to you all 1 minute, because I was trying to figure out what was going on with the audio. Normally, my setup, nothing has changed. There's been no update. Everything is the same as always when I come up to my MacBook, and yet for some weird reason, my mixer is not being recognized. At least the usual setting I have on my mixer is not being recognized. It was giving me virtual options, which I I have no idea what the hell that was about, but you guys are able to hear now. So you guys are good to go. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Mine's, I can't really complain. We are fresh off the heels of the Royal Rumble. What did you guys think about tonight's Monday Night Raw from Cleveland? Sound off, let me know. You can vote a number of ways. We've got the poll up on X, formerly known as Twitter, at the RCWR show. We also got one available up on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/the RCWR show. I love weeks like this. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I love weeks like this because for me, barely any news that we need to talk about at great length, which is fantastic. So this is going to be one of those, maybe up to an hour, 10 minutes at most. And then your man get to dip out. I love that. I love that. But there's some interesting little tidbits that we can talk about for sure. Look, this Raw definitely has us going, all right, the road to WrestleMania. Just when we think we know how things are going to be panning out because of the Royal Rumble, wait a minute. Not so fast. We got a couple of interesting curveballs that came at us. One of them definitely in the form of Jey Uso. I didn't think I would be here on this show talking about how Jey Uso's Royal Rumble victory has quite a few fans being very vocal, questioning WWE's booking. LOL, WWE, WTF, WWE, OMG, LOL, WTF, WWE. I mean, all kinds of, no matter how you string it all together, definitely you've got a decent amount of vocal fans. It's enough to recognize that are looking at this Jey Uso Royal Rumble win, and they are going, I'm not going to mock them. I could easily do that. I could do the little voice annoying impression. I'm not going to do that, though. But they're going, why not the John Cena? Why not the CM Punk? Why not the Seth Rollins? Why not the Roman Reigns? I don't understand. WWE, what the hell? This guy's been losing all year long. And you just go with this guy again. What a waste. What a travesty. What a joke. I'm going to stop watching WWE. I'm no longer a fan of WWE as a result of this. I'm not watching them anymore. I'm not watching that WrestleMania. I'm done. As I have been telling you guys on this show for years upon years upon years, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I'm talking about that common sense. And see, I wouldn't expect for a wrestling fan that is maybe under the age of 18 to really be thinking about things from a business standpoint. I really, if anything, I would be expecting them to maybe kind of enlighten themselves a bit more, open up their minds to, okay, yeah, help me understand why did they go in this direction? Help me make sense out of this because I don't quite But for grown ass adults, I'm looking at you if you're mid late 20s and up, and you're going, yeah, this is terrible. What the fuck, WWE? How could you? This is stupid. This makes no sense. Now, I just happen to be one of those types of people that has great insight when it comes to market research. I used to work in market research for almost 10 years. I used to help organize focus groups. I used to look at data that was collected from surveys, studying the data, looking at how people responses were to certain questions that's being asked of them on things that you guys take for granted. Be it, hey, what do you think about this particular toothpaste? To, hey, about that video game franchise over here at Bethesda, to maybe a upcoming TV series on your favorite network. Like, I've pretty much done it all. I'm looking at this as far as last year goes, and I got to tell you about a very interesting conversation. I got to intertwine it here. Very interesting conversation I had with the wifey 2, maybe 3. No, actually, no. Literally Sunday. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was Sunday. About Jey Uso. And I said, not for nothing. I said, but I've been seeing what's been going on with Jey Uso. And this dude has really just week in, week out. It is just a very interesting phenomenon that is going on here with Jey Uso. And people are just riding this wave. They want to be part of this wave. And it's amazing. I'm paying attention to what's going on with him pushing merch on WWE. I'm seeing that he's ranking in the top 5 for merchandise pushers. I'm going, this dude's pushing money. He's printing money. That's pretty damn good, and on a consistent basis. All right. So, if you're looking at things from a business standpoint, if you were to just wave a magical wand and boom, you got all the money in your pocket, you getting ready to start up a wrestling promotion or whatnot. And one of the things that you care about is merchandise pushers, definitely those that you feel is going to be helping sell tickets at the gate, bringing people to your event. You're going to be looking at a totality of things, including what's going on with those social media engagements, are you not? So when you really take a step back and you look at the Jey Uso picture and its totality, just look at the overall picture of Jey Uso, you can understand why WWE is going, okay, you know what? Yeah, well, this makes a lot of sense. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. I get it. Whereas if you were to think about how things were in the past when it would come to, say, a Vince McMahon, sure, there's been a couple of people that have broken through those barriers, such as Daniel Bryan, for example, right? And, and we could think about Kofi Kingston being another one in recent memory, but Vince McMahon, normally there is a particular look, a style, a feel that he prefers, that he's going to go with. And guess what? It don't matter how much of a reaction this other person is able to get organically, not unless you're maybe one of those people on a very, very short list that Vince McMahon just goes, fuck it, let's do it. But yeah, Vince McMahon, no, we're going in this direction. Oh, he's organically getting over? Well, that's not cool in my book because I didn't help create that. I didn't have anything to do with that. So, and that person is punished in spite of organically getting over. You feel me? Whereas this new regime that is at play right now is essentially going, okay, we're hearing the fans. We are seeing what's going on with them. We're paying attention to social media. We're paying attention to how this guy elicits such a reaction every arena that he's in. Most importantly, we are following the money. And good God Almighty, this dude is printing us money out the yin-yang. You don't think that the totality of all of that, from a business standpoint, from a fan standpoint, let's also look at it from a pop culture standpoint. Now, to the people that say, oh yeah, man, Jey Uso, he can't really cut a promo worth a damn. Look, trust me, I feel where you're coming from. I am right there with you. He's getting better. It's coming along. But if I'm going to be looking at things from a pop culture standpoint, and I'm thinking about those media rounds, close your eyes, everybody, WrestleMania season and everything. I'm looking at The Breakfast Club. Yeet. I'm looking at Jennifer Hudson and how she's got her TV show and all that going on. Yeet. I'm maybe looking at WPGC 99.5. Yeet. Okay. I am looking at insert whatever hip hop, R&B, pop culture, right? Like Jey Uso hits all those demographics. Respectfully, he hits all of those demographics that WWE is trying to branch out to. You notice how WWE's been embracing the hell out of the hip hop rap culture more and more. Lil Yachty, Lil Wayne, you know, Quavo, and right. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on and on. Snoop Dogg, right? You're looking at all that stuff. By the way, speaking of music artists, that is real jacked up how those two girls representing the Associated Press did my man Babyface Edmonds. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but we had the Grammys over the weekend. I don't particularly care for the Grammys. Yeah, my whole thought process is, look, I know what I like. And if I want to know what's the latest that I need to check out, I'll either talk to a friend, I'll talk to a family member, or I'll just go on my favorite website. Or hell, better yet, I'll just pull up my phone or tablet. I'll go on Spotify and I'll be like, yo, you know, what's the latest? Give me the latest on this genre, give me today's top trending, and I'll educate myself that way, and that's cool and everything. I just think that stuff like that is just rigged to a degree. But anyway, so you add these two girls representing the Associated Press, two white girls. Keep in mind, second day of Black History Month. They come across Babyface. They asking him this whack ass question about rap being fused with rock metal, some bullshit ass. I'm listening to this question going, y'all don't really know what the hell you want to ask Babyface, do you? Because I could just tell. And I'm thinking to myself, man, like this guy just won a Grammy last year. He had a widely received, well-received edition of NPR's Tiny Music Desk. I know you guys are familiar with that series. It was a great little joint that he did. He was on there for like about almost a half hour and everything. But like, it's not like, to my whole point, it's not like Babyface, the multi-time. And let me just stress, this guy has won 13 Grammys. Just as the late Quincy Jones was such an impact on our music industry, Babyface, I mean, when you just go back and you look at all the people that he pretty much has written music for, collaborated with, I mean, Tony Braxton for starters, Madonna's Say Goodbye. A lot of people forget Babyface actually wrote that song. And that's him on the backing vocals of that song too, on that Madonna track. But like when you go and you do your research, you're like, damn, I didn't know this dude did all of this. And of all the questions you could ask Babyface, you ask him this whack ass. Well, wait. It gets worse. Again, for those of you that aren't aware, it gets worse. So one of the girls interviewing him, they see, what's her name? Chappelle Ronan. They see her. They actually call her over. And Babyface is like, oh, you want that? Go do that. And he hands the mic over, and and naturally, the two women of the Associated Press, they got their asses handed to them. They tried to apologize. Oh, we're big fans of Babyface. You could have fooled the fuck out of me. All right, you got a funny ass way of showing it. It's funny. I was talking to a buddy of mine about this earlier today, and I said, you know what's crazy about all of that? If that would have been the Vibe Music Awards, if that would have been the BET Awards or the Source Awards, or anything that had to do basically with hey, this black event is for black artists, all this, that wouldn't have happened. Now, I don't need nobody jumping out there saying, oh, he's making it a racial thing. Before you even go there, if we would have had two very well researched veteran interviewers / journalists in those positions of those two girls, race to the side. Just they got the experience. They know what the hell they doing. That wouldn't have happened. But just the fact that it was the second day of Black History Month and Babyface being a black guy that is bumped by two white women in favor of I'm assuming Chappelle Ronan is a white person, or because if she is biracial, multiracial, you could have fooled me. She looks pretty damn albino. I don't think that was the makeup either. I was talking. Understand the optics. The optics. That's what I want you guys to focus on. The optics. It does not look good, right? Just crazy. So you're looking at the whole music, just kind of segueing back there. You understand how we got onto that topic, but kind of segueing back, looking at how WWE has constantly been intertwining there with the rap, hip hop industry, the black community, essentially. Because when you think about hip hop, R&B culture, yeah, that is black culture. Okay, Jey Uso and that respected culture, it's like peanut butter and jelly. It is the perfect combination and everything. So they've got the right guy who hits all the right demos in place for them to decide, okay, you know what? We're seeing what's happening with this guy. He's gaining a lot of traction. Fuck it. Let's see what happens. Let's put the rocket ship on the back of this guy and let's see what the hell's going to happen. Now, whether or not Jey Uso is going to seize the opportunity and he's going to continue to rise, or he's going to fall flat on his face, that is really up to him. But WWE is literally, the best way that I can sum this up essentially, when you think about how everything came about with Brian Danielson, and the whole Yes movement, when you think about Kofi and Kofi Mania, I mean, we are literally going into Yeetamania here, right? It is almost, to me at least, I don't know about you all, but it's very reminiscent to that. Only this go round, not only is it organic, but it feels like the powers that are at play in WWE and upper management and all that, we recognize this. Yes, we see this, we acknowledge this. This is definitely, the fans are dictating this. We're not gonna hold back in any type of way. We're actually gonna embrace this and let's go there. Look, I've been a firm believer in you can't please everybody, nor should you try. You should honestly just focus on, how the vast majority is going, and kind of, cater to that and everything. We all can be in agreement because we were here this same time last year, fam, going, boy, what a waste of a Royal Rumble win when they could have easily. I mean, why hot shot this for just a story arc? It wasn't needed. This should have gone to somebody that was very well deserving, and we all sat around coming up with different names of, well, you know what? It should have went to this person instead, or should have gone to this person instead. And essentially, WWE, they did it right. As far as I'm concerned, I'm sure they paid very close attention to the feedback they got last year and how they handled the Men's Royal Rumble. And at least in my eyes, they justified themselves this year. They vindicated themselves this year. Whether or not Jey Uso is going to be able to continue that momentum, we'll have to see in due time. Either he's going to seize the opportunity, or it's basically going to be a one and done, and it's going to become very, very flat in due time. But when you got this type of a momentum, you'd be a fool not to cash all your chips in and go, let's see what happens. Now you're looking at what's going on with Charlotte Flair, on the other hand. Ooh, look, I love Charlotte Flair. I respect the woman. Appreciate her, man. I got number love for Charlotte Flair. I do. But man, that Royal Rumble win, a lot of us, and I didn't take comfort knowing that, okay, Charlotte Flair is going to win. It wasn't one of those. I just mainly looked at it from the standpoint of, well, what other direction are you going to go with? Who have you essentially built up? That was my whole question. Like, what, you going to go with the Bird Lady? You going to go with Lyra Valkyria? You going to, what are you maybe going to go with Bianca Belair? I mean, you haven't quite really done enough to. I mean, that would just seem so random and just out of nowhere. Not to mention, she's got that whole Naomi, Jade Cargill, Payback is a Dog story arc underway. I mean, under the right circumstances, that would have been a very interesting direction to go for sure. But, okay, you're not going to go in that direction. Do you give it to Liv Morgan again? Was that maybe what you were supposed to do? Were you supposed to give the Royal Rumble win to Liv Morgan? I'm not real sure about that one. Io Sky? Should you maybe have gone with Io Sky? Or how about Jordan Grace? Not for nothing, but that was a name I teased off and on going into the Royal Rumble. I said, wouldn't happen, but in a really cool what if scenario there, how badass would it be? You have Jordan Grace, who's now a full-time member of the WWE, just come in there, win that whole damn thing, really shocking the entire world, all that great stuff. Wow, what a great way for her to come. Now, nobody said she needed to go to WrestleMania and win the women's championship. It's just a simple, just what a great way to properly introduce this woman, grand stage, and, really make some heads turn. And, not for nothing, but the reactions that she had got over the weekend in her appearance and some of the stuff that she was doing in there. I mean, solid shit all the way around, but kind of paying attention to the bigger, grander scheme of things and how WWE typically likes to roll, you're going, yeah, odds of that happening is slim to none. So now we're going with a Charlotte Flair here. Charlotte Flair. Boy, that Cleveland crowd let Charlotte Flair have it tonight, did they not? You got her putting that promo out there. It's interesting because right before Raw took a commercial break, by the way, what was going on with all the audio, video feed issues during tonight's broadcast? For those of you that didn't watch it, and hopefully they'll have this cleaned up once I guess it's made available on demand right now, or maybe it's going to take a couple of minutes or whatever. But all throughout the live broadcast tonight, there were audio video issues. It was this case of weird static, and it was blacking out for a few seconds, coming back in. It was almost as if maybe there's like a loose cord or something that somebody needed to play around with. Yo, jiggle that one time, fix that. It's kind of one of those type of deals. All throughout the night, especially during the last 5 minutes of tonight's main event match between CM Punk and Sami Zayn. More on that in a bit. But the Charlotte Flair promo, right before the commercial break, we're seeing Charlotte Flair. She's giving these high fives and everything, and you're going, oh, okay. Think it's safe to say what type of a promo we're going to get from Charlotte. She's probably going to, at least my thought process, she's probably going to tell the fans how much she missed them, and maybe there'll be some mixed reactions or whatever, but she's going to say something like, whether you boo me or you cheer me, I love you guys either way. You guys have no idea. Sure enough, right on the money. That was her promo. And at least in front of that Cleveland crowd, overwhelmingly, they were not feeling Charlotte Flair. I mean, that shit was dead on arrival. She tried to go the route of, hey, I was injured. I wasn't sure if I was going to be coming back. I wasn't sure if I was going to be doing this ever again. Fans wasn't invested in that. Nothing but boos. Now, I saw this one comment. I think this was from longtime social media follower and listener of the show, Chris. Shout out to Chris. He means well. But Chris put this comment out there. Maybe they all booed because, and I'm looking at this, I'm going, okay, he's telling a joke. But what if Chris wasn't telling a joke? But I read this comment from Chris who goes, maybe they were booing Charlotte because they heard that she divorced Andrade. And I'm just going, well, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. Let me clear my throat. Have you guys tried this? Mountain Dew, zero sugar, Baja Blast. If you like the usual Baja Blast, you'll like the zero sugar Baja Blast. Just note, there is caffeine in it. There is caffeine for those of you that maybe want to dodge caffeine. It's pretty good, though. I like it. When you compare it to the regular Baja, you barely notice the difference. It's one of the best that's out there right now, besides the Diet Wild Cherry Pepsi. Drink it. Let me know what you think. Look, I'm not one to pry into one's personal life. I've told you guys on this show repeatedly over the years. I don't care what's going on with a wrestler's private life unless they get in front of whatever stories out there and they put some type of a statement out there on social media. Okay, they've brought it to the forefront. It's publicly of knowledge because they're acknowledging it. All right, if we're gonna react to that, that's fine. So as long as we're letting it be known, hey, look, this is just an opinion, a reaction to what this person said, right? We got to be careful because in a day and age where we've got people, Conan, I'm looking at you, that's running around spreading this gossip like it's fact, and then shit comes back, blows up in your face. Like, we got to be careful here, right? We got to be careful. So my golden rule is always like, I don't care with a wrestler's personal life. Unless they make it public, I don't care. But if we're led to believe, hypothetically here, that, at least according to TMZ, Charlotte Flair and Andrade, they've got this whole divorce or whatever, okay? So that's why the fans are booing? How does that make sense? I'm just trying to, how would that, like, I'm not picturing how many people were there in that arena tonight, about 15 to 17,000. I'm not picturing 95% of them. Dude, Charlotte divorced Andrade. So fucked up. Oh, what an evil woman. Like, I'm not picturing them booing her because of, no, I am picturing fans booing Charlotte Flair because they are sick and tired of the same rinse and repeat crap that they've been getting of the Charlotte Flair character for years upon years upon years. I hate to say this about Charlotte Flair. It's sad, but it's true. Probably the only thing new that keeps happening with Charlotte Flair every single time she goes on hiatus and she comes back is her face keeps changing. It's starting to become damn near scary. I'm like literally going, can you please stop? Please, please. I'm starting to not recognize you anymore. I could easily show you a picture. It hangs on my wall. One of my favorite moments. I met Charlotte and Shinsuke Nakamura at this con event. And to see Charlotte in person, she looked gorgeous. She looked gorgeous. This was many, many years ago. This is probably like around 2000. It's probably around 2017, maybe 2018. If I were to take that photo off the wall right now and show it to you, you'd be like, wait a minute. For the woman that we saw tonight, wait, that's Charlotte? Are you sure? No, it can't be. You all would literally say that. Like, are you sure that was Charlotte? That's the only thing new that keeps happening. We've been getting the same, like, look, you can dress it up any old kind of way. Meatloaf is still meatloaf, especially when you're giving it to somebody 7 days a week, all month long, each month, all year long. Oh, well, I put some ketchup on it. It's still meatloaf. I barbecued it. It's still meatloaf. I sauteed it. It's still meatloaf. I froze it. It's still meatloaf. I put some whipped cream on that motherfucker. It's still meatloaf. What part of it's still meatloaf do you not understand? Is it still or meatloaf? Which one is it? It's still meatloaf, right? It's very infuriating. You know, we were hearing these rumblings that the Charlotte Flair character was going through a revamp and you know, was going over a major overhaul. You're hearing that, you're going, okay, well, you know, okay, great, yeah, can get behind that. But no, it's just business as usual. And I think when you get right down to the heart of the matter, quote Don Henley, that Cleveland crowd was letting Charlotte and WWE know we're not having this. It's the same old usual bullshit. We're not interested in this. Give us something else. And you could see that Charlotte Flair was rattled. You could see with the babyface like promo that she was trying to do wasn't going over. Then she tried leaning into the heel persona a little bit. That still wasn't quite, you know, the fans are just exhausted with this woman. Nothing that she did personally to them. It's just, look, we know this. We know this already. We know this playbook. We know what you're doing. Like, we don't care. We're not invested. We're not interested. Cue Rhea Ripley to come on out there and pretty much save that segment. Interesting exchange between the two. Both of them acknowledging, yo, I got a W over you. So obviously, there's a rubber band match that needs to happen. Rhea Ripley begging for Charlotte to pick her. Charlotte coming right back and saying, you know what you just showed me? You just demonstrated to me why I shouldn't pick you is because you're still a child. Look at how you just came on out here, interrupting my time and pretty much begging me to choose you. Like, you're still a little kid. But I'm going to go on ahead. I'm going to go on over to SmackDown. On my way to SmackDown, I'm going to stop by NXT tomorrow night. Maybe Julia will fuel my passion, fuel my desire. Maybe she'll scratch that itch. And if not, maybe Tiffany Stratton. Maybe Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown this week. Maybe she'll do it. I'll get back to you. But right now, nah. You ain't offering me nothing right now. I'm not feeling you. I don't feel the disrespect. Right? The disrespect you're giving me, I'm not really feeling that. So I'm out of here. Rhea Ripley coming right back. Pick me. Let me prove to you that I do respect you. Go ahead and pick me. Because if you pick me, at least this way, I can maybe beat the respect out of you. Right? So we got that going on between those two. Interesting what's going on here with the Women's Championship. Because for those of us that watched the Royal Rumble, we were told specifically when it came to the men's match, and we got the lower third graphics and everything, that the men's championship, basically whoever won the Royal Rumble, they were either going to choose Gunther for his championship or they were going to choose Cody Rhodes. But for the women's, they left it up in the air. It was like any championship. So what? That means NXT as well. Like we talked about it on the post show and everything, but now with tonight's Raw, we got that clarification letting us know, oh no, for the women's, the Rumble winner, they get to pick between the three of those. I'm like, oh, okay, very interesting. So look, I don't want to seem like I'm flip-flopping here because for those that were with me for the Royal Rumble post show, which by the way, shout out to you guys that had checked out the Rumble post show when it was all said and done. There was about, I want to say close to or just a little over 3,000 of you that checked out the live stream, you know, all throughout social media outlets that we had the stream playing on. We did the watch along and we did the post show. That was how I was able to keep my voice during that whole thing. It is beyond me. Speaking of voices, shout out to my brother, Jason Solomon. Monster Sounds Off. He is sounding really, really bad right now. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully that gets checked out and he's in the clear very, very soon. I already wished him to get well, but just I definitely want to say it again. Get well, Jason, seriously, because we need you, buddy. We need you. We need you. You know it's bad when Jason says, I'm not doing a Raw post show tonight. You know it's bad when he does that. So, yes, people, we all are aware of one another. From time to time, we all have conversations, and, it's not as competitive and I want that motherfucker dead. It's not as, this person versus this person, as some of you all maybe like to have it play out in your head. Like, all of us are, we're very friendly. We're part of the same ecosystem, all that good stuff. So, interesting stuff going back to Raw. Backstage, I don't mean to laugh, but Jason sounded like a broke ass Kurt Angle. Does he not with that voice right now? I shouldn't be talking because when I get sick, I got the gravelly Batman voice. I shouldn't be talking. Um, Backstage segment, Io Sky runs into Rhea Ripley, letting her know, hey, however it all plays out with Charlotte Flair, Io's hoping that maybe her and Rhea could get it on for a shot at her women's championship. Rhea's like, yo, sounds good. Io doesn't go that far when she's brutally attacked by Liv Morgan. Rhea tries coming to the rescue. Raquel Rodriguez beats her down. Receipts coming later on in the night because we had a match there between Io and Liv Morgan, and this was a elimination chamber qualifying match we had for the men's and women's chamber qualifying matches. Remember, elimination chamber out there in Canada is going to be going down Saturday, March 1st. Very excited for that event. Final moments of that Io versus Liv match. Raquel trying to do a little bit of interference from the outside. Ripley coming down there, stomping a mud hole in her. Liv Morgan grabbing on the back of Ripley's hair. Rhea turning around. They're kind of brawling for a little bit. Rhea takes a swing at Liv, which connects. Referee has no choice but to call for the disqualification. Liv Morgan wins that way. She advances to Elimination Chamber. Io, very heartbroken, can't believe what happened. Rhea's trying to apologize. Io's not having it. Now, I'm a little bit curious here. I'm curious if Rhea is going to go, okay, you know what? Io obviously, she got messed up there because of Ripley's interference. She was trying to do a good thing here, but it backfired. I wonder if Rhea, in story, goes to Adam Pearce. Hey, I want to make it up to Io. I want her to get a title shot. Let's do this. And that title shot happens on Raw on the way to Elimination Chamber. I wonder if that's what happens with Io there. So kind of have that going in the back of your mind going into the next couple of weeks of Monday Night Raw and everything. By the way, some of the folks, with the exception of CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, at least, although if that information is now available, fam, post it in the comments so we can share with the rest of the people. But all throughout the night, we got a little bit of a treat in seeing the WWE 2K25 overalls for, that sounds so weird the way I said that, overall ratings. There we go. Overalls. Wait a minute, we're seeing WWE Superstars overalls. Wait, whoa. No, we have to see their overall ratings for 2K25. Again, I don't know what the rating is for Punk, Zayn, and Rollins. As far as I know, those were not made available. So if anybody maybe has those, feel free to share. But we got Kofi Kingston coming in at 81. Logan Paul's official rating is 90. That might be debatable amongst some of you. I have no problem with it. So far, so good. Ratings, like no issue so far. Xavier Woods is at an 80. That's fine. Rey Mysterio is at 86. I think I would have put Rey Mysterio at 83, maybe 84. Dragon Lee is at 78. I'm okay with that. Io Sky is at 89. I think that's a little bit too high. A little bit too high. I think Io. I think Io should have probably tied with Rey Mysterio and been at an 86. That's just me personally. But that's some of the numbers that we know right now. I was gonna say there's also a couple of screenshots that's floating around online, as well as a video for The Rock. I think that's got to be, if not The Undertaker, I think The Rock's final boss entrance is pretty damn long. From what I saw, I watched it in its entirety. That thing is clocking in. What is it, like 3 minutes, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, somewhere around there? Very long entrance there for the Rock. I would have thought they'd have gone with an abbreviated version, but they did not. Yeah. The renders look pretty damn good. What particularly has me going, wow, is the Rhea Ripley render. When you see her render from 2024 and you see how she looks in 2K25, you're going, wow. The 2K25 is, it's very, very spot on, deadly accurate, more accurate. I love it. I love it. So game can't get here soon enough. I think I said March 14th is when that game is going to be dropping. So looks very promising. And we'll definitely share some more ratings with you guys as they become available. So from that new front, we go to New Day. New Day getting some new music. Sounds a little bit diabolical and everything. But they definitely, at least they kept somewhat of the rap spirit of it, whereas the other theme was more gospelly yet uplifting. This one is more of a dark monotone, yet there's rapping in. I liked it. I thought it was actually a pretty good theme song. They went up against Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Logan Paul interfering. Final moments of this one, pretty much causing and setting up a distraction there in order for New Day to pick up the win. Now, the main reason why, for those of you that's kind of going, damn, that's so random that Logan Paul's out there and he's well, Logan Paul basically was out there screwing it, putting the screws there to Rey Mysterio because he meets Rey Mysterio next week in a Elimination Chamber qualifier. So, and look, not for nothing, but these two, it makes perfect sense when you really take a step back and think about it, because they also have history from the standpoint of, if I remember, the United States Championship. Wasn't it Logan Paul that defeated Rey Mysterio for the championship, or at least there was a title defense? And I just remember he did a whole bunch of shenanigans in that one to get that championship and everything. So there's some history there. So I'm looking forward to seeing them revitalize that feud there and everything for next week. Also for next week, as far as elimination qualifier goes, the Bird Lady, Lyra Valkyria, she's going to be taking on Bailey. Again, that's going to be an Elimination Chamber qualifier. Let me see. By the way, probably the most controversial. I thought I had missed something. There's one other name I want to give to you guys for 2K25. Liv Morgan. I didn't touch upon this. Her overall rating is a 91. I think that might be a little bit too high. I wish this was a case right here where, depending on who your manager is for the match that you're going to be going into for these games, like the manager, like the whole compatibility, that can like make the difference. So in this case, if you want to say Liv Morgan is at an 86 or 85 just by herself, okay, fine. But if you add Dominic Mysterio as a manager, then her overall rating, it goes up X amount of points. And then in this case, what did I just say? A 85 or a 86, but add Dominic Mysterio as a manager, and now she shoots up to 91 because with him by her side, it's almost ironclad that she gets a victory. So I wish that for future 2K games, the 2K team can, or whoever, did they do the re-up yet? WWE and 2K, did they ink a new deal, or we don't know yet? Because whoever is going to be publishing these games going forward for the next several years, that would be a cool feature. Bottom line, that'd be a cool feature to play around with, new compatibility mode, like you go with this person and get up a couple of points, or if you're incompatible, it may actually go down a couple of points. It just really depends and everything. I saw something involving Braun Breaker, as Braun Breaker wanted to know. I think he was talking with Adam Pearce briefly. He wanted to know what's next for him and everything on his road to WrestleMania, as that kind of seems up in the air right now. I guess Braun Breaker is looking for a challenger there for his IC title. Maybe it might come in the form of the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, as it was revealed that AJ Styles has taken advantage of the transfer window, and he's now going to be part of Monday Night Raw going forward. So we didn't get him this week. I have a feeling we'll probably see him next week. Alpha Academy, meanwhile, chatted it up backstage with the War Raiders. Basically, we like those tag titles. War Raiders, come get some then, right? So enough said, say less. Meanwhile, Chad Gable, he revealed that he's going to be leaving members of Alpha Academy for a while he goes and studies the mystical arts of Lucha Libre, and that when he comes back, he's expecting for Ivy Now to have the IC championship, and he's expecting for the Creed brothers to have tag team gold. Have a feeling we're going to be seeing some Kung Fu, The Legend Continues segments there with Chad Gable going forward. That should be some God, I wonder if we'll get to see Funaki, maybe Tajiri. Hey, you can dream, right? You can dream. Meanwhile, trying to see what other stuff had happened. We only got 4 matches on tonight's show. I'm glad that Raw went off when it did. It went off just a minute or two shy of 2 hours and 30 minutes. So pretty good. I like when we're getting these weeks where, look, you don't have to do 3+ hours. You don't. I'm glad that they got this flexibility that they have here and everything. Seth Rollins doing his best rah-rah speech to Sami Zayn. Basically, you you take down the head, you bring down the base. Doing his best rah-rah for Sami Zayn to beat CM Punk, because Sami Zayn, CM Punk main event match, Elimination Chamber qualifier here. Seth Rollins, what was going on with the attire choice for tonight? He was looking like a crossbreed, the guy that's in the Mountain Dew commercials. And he also looked like he was ready to break out at any moment. Cool Mo D's Wild Wild West. I don't know about you all, but I was literally ready for Seth Rollins to just start breakdancing, just the Wild Wild West. I'm ready for that shit. Anyway, CM Punk, Sami Zayn. Hard to believe this, but apparently for the very first time in WWE, these two have never had a wrestling match before. I'm literally scratching my head and I'm going, are we serious? Are we sure? Like, really? Like, we really? Okay. But you know what? I'm like, internet, do your thing, because maybe you're going to be able to discover something that we don't know about, right? So internet, do your thing, because internet's like, yeah, they might have said this, but in actuality, but if we're led to believe, no. They never had a match before. Well, I tell you what, they had a classic one tonight. It went just about thing, and kudos to WWE for making sure that when this was all said and done, we really got our values worth here with these two. They did about, I would say, 20, maybe almost 22 minutes, give or take. Nice fun main event. CM Punk cashing it in. I thought for sure there was going to be some type of interference. I wasn't sure if maybe it was going to come in the form of Drew McIntyre or what. By the way, during Seth Rollins' little raw off and on throughout the night, we were being teased about a Roman Reigns health update, and basically what we were told is Roman Reigns is going to be out for the foreseeable future. So what that means exactly, who knows, but hey. But I tell you what, if you were a ROH fan of CM Punk's and Sami Zayn's from back in the day, not only was this a dream match, but the way in which this match came together and the fact that it wasn't just a regular old match, there is value to this. There is a reason why we're seeing these two for the very first time, why the stars have, essentially aligned for these two to have this match, because there's a lot that's at stake here and everything. For two guys that never crossed paths with one another. I love this main event match. I feel like I might have oversold the length of this match too. I said 20 something minutes. No, I think this was more like maybe about 12, 13 minutes, give or take. So Sami Zayn coming up short post match. CM Punk being a good sport, giving the old shaking of the hand there to Zayn. Punk gets ready to make his way out the ring. He's in between the ropes. Sami Zayn is looking on frustrated. Next thing you know, Sami Zayn is attacked from behind as Kevin Owens charges at him, and by literally tackling Sami Zayn, Zayn bumps into Punk. That sends Punk flying, and I guess for whatever respective reason, Punk was not able to get back in the ring there. I guess, whatever. Package pile driver there for Sami Zayn. Raw goes off the air with a fuming Kevin Owens. Now, if you were here with me during the Royal Rumble post show, I said, this plays itself out quite beautifully because, and we even talked about it in offering predictions, which was, Kevin Owens, he essentially is going to be able to extract, all hell, all fury on Sami Zayn. Essentially, you were not there for me when I needed you the most. The hell with checking up on me and making sure I'm still alive. Like, none of this wouldn't have happened if you'd have done the right thing. And right. So Kevin Owens lashing out at Sami Zayn, and essentially we're going to get Sami KO at WrestleMania. Magnifico. So officially with this edition of Monday Night Raw, Road to WrestleMania, it's on now. Sami Owens intertwining here again. Looking forward to seeing how the path to Mania for these two, how that is going to continue on there. We've got John Cena, who's already locked in his spot at the Elimination Chamber. We've got CM Punk, who's going to be joining him, right? As now that leaves 4 other slots, right? Women's joint is shaping up pretty good. Got to hear from the Rumble winners. Solid Raw, basically, in setting up a lot of things to come over the next several weeks. So let's see what you guys had to say about Raw for tonight. Going over to X, you know what time it is. Got to look at the polling results, see how you guys had voted. 8% of you has said tonight's Raw was terrible overall. Meanwhile, 22% of you said it was a below average edition. 33% of you said it was an awesome show, and 37% of you said it was a Awesome show. Appreciate you guys that voted via X. Much love, much love. Also, hang on a second here. Let's go to YouTube here, and and that's youtube.com/the RCWR show. Click on the post section. You can vote that way. Meanwhile, over on YouTube, 17% of you are saying Raw tonight was a average show, and 83% of you felt that it was a awesome show. Appreciate you guys that cast your vote. Speaking of votes, the Lee Sanders Presents the 2024 Wrestling Awards survey is underway now. Make sure you guys go and cast your vote. I believe I put the link in the episode description of this very episode. If I did not, just hop on my social media joints, or better yet, if you go to the post section on the YouTube channel, you'll actually see the link over there. Click on that bad boy. Look, if you know your shit, you're going to be in and out in about 7 minutes, tops. If you're pussyfooting around and you're then, you're probably looking at about maybe up to 12 minutes, worst case scenario. I love seeing the responses so far. It is literally wide open, fam. It's literally wide open. So go cast your vote. And matter of fact, I gotta make sure, because I'm gonna have to actually upgrade the amount of responses to the survey, because I'm getting ready to hit my first quota. And the way this is kind of looking right now, it's like, I need to add more. I need more. So I'm gonna have to upgrade that bad boy when I get a chance. But yeah, go ahead, cast your vote. Appreciate it. See, what else can we get into? Not really much has happened since last we were on the air. I told you guys at the top that it's pretty much been relatively quiet news cycle wise. There's a couple of interesting little tidbits that's here and there, like for instance the Kimberly DUI trial that begins next week. We kind of touched upon that a couple of weeks ago already, but just to kind of give you guys a friendly reminder, that's going to begin next week. So it'll be interesting to see how far along that goes, essentially, because Kimberly has essentially been trying to be on her best behavior, focusing on her job at the veterinarian clinic, and it looks like she's trying to sell nails and makeup on the side. Not a Mary Kay Avon thing, something else that she's trying to get into here. But looks like she's been trying to be on her best behavior and all of that. So you got that's going on. Also, Janelle Grant. Interesting update there with Janelle Grant. She had until Friday. And it's so interesting because, at the time when she was trying to do her thing legally against Vince McMahon, TKO, WWE, John Laurinaitis and all of that, it's kind of weird because when you think about what happened same time a year ago, like right, the clockwork, the timing of it, it was just, wow, this is going into one of WWE's most busiest, most important pay-per-views, PLEs of the year, Royal Rumble, and here we are almost exactly a year later. Janelle Grant, here she is again. She basically had until Friday to what's the terminology I'm thinking of? Amend or whatever. Basically, certain amount of time to look, if you're gonna do something, like this is the time. Like you want to do it now or forever hold your peace. And so she did just that. And apparently nothing really new, but now we're starting to learn about some names, because now, like, officially, we kept hearing the rumblings that apparently Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon, and Brock Lesnar, and now officially Brock Lesnar's name has been added to this lawsuit. So for those of you with the fantasy booking about Brock Lesnar and, oh, he's going to be back and hey, wouldn't it be cool if, and I've seen some of the pictures that's been floating around of, oh, just picture this, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar and CM Punk and Roman Reigns on the same team. Well, wouldn't that be a really badass faction? The closest thing you're going to get to that is 2K25. And that's with a CAW version of Brock Lesnar and all that other stuff. So we got here a new 104-page lawsuit that Grant's now alleging that she was offered to Brock Lesnar. Boy, when I hear offer, like the offering of a woman to somebody, I always go back to that infamous line that oh my god, I can't believe I almost forgot about my man Karrion Kross, by the way. Shout out to my man Karrion Kross. He did appear briefly on Raw tonight. He got in the face of Sami Zayn, actually, as Sami was giving props to Jey Uso there for his win and all that good stuff. And Karrion was like, oh, ain't that so nice of you, always giving the old rah-rah speech and, patting the other person on the back there, when's it going to be your turn? When you going to get yours? And Sammy basically told him, yo, I'm tired of you always getting in my face every single week, meddling in my business. If you don't stop, I'm going to make you my business. And Karrion said something along the lines of, maybe that's what I want, or something like that. So there he is. Just, by the way, what a great travesty. It didn't really dawn on me until actually I was preparing for tonight's show earlier in the afternoon. It didn't dawn on me that Karrion Kross was not in the Rumble. What? Why? What a travesty. Like, he was not in the Rumble. Just crazy. It's crazy. And usually that's a weekend where all hands are on deck, like any and everybody. Like, they need everybody. So just very weird what was going on there. I almost also forgot Jey Uso. He opened up the show. It took about 15 minutes for him to finally get on the microphone because everybody was just doing the whole yeet thing and everything. Gunther came out pretty much still looking at Jey Uso as a joke and basically telling him, yo, your best bet is to go and see about them other champions because, yeah, you pretty much are going to get nothing but heartache yet again. And Jey Uso pretty much telling him, yo, people keep doubting me and all of that. Like, go ahead, keep doing that. But when it's all said and done, guaranteed going to be going into WrestleMania as a 2025 Royal Rumble winner. Going to be going in as main event Jey Uso. Definitely going to be leaving WrestleMania as the world champion. But I'll holler at you next week. I'm going to go talk to my man Cody on SmackDown. So we know Jey Uso is going to be on this Friday's SmackDown. Can't believe that almost had slipped my mind there, but I'm glad we were able to touch upon that. Sorry about that, guys. But getting back to the Janelle Grant there. Yeah, every time I like she was offered, I go back to that Rocky movie, 1976. Paulie's having a fit. Remember the scene? Paulie's having a fit. Oh, I give you meat. I even give you my sister. And then Adrian's like, oh, yeah, pimp would talk like that. Don't pay me no mind. Anyway, Grant now alleges that she was offered to Brock Lesnar for a sexual encounter during his contract negotiations. Hold that thought. I have a visitor. My furry daughter wants in. I can hear her. Hi. She said, won't you please open the door? Won't you please open the door? I'm doing a show right now. Yeah, just chill on out right there. You little cutie. You're a cutie, you know that? Yeah, just chill right there. I'll hook you up. Yeah. offered to Brock Lesnar for a sexual encounter during his contract negotiations with WWE. What the fuck? In addition, Grant is alleging that she was told to send sexual content to Brock Lesnar. It was reported earlier this month that Grant was planning to alter the suit. Of course, these new allegations involving Lesnar come alongside further accusations that McMahon was active in trafficking Grant during her time working at the WWE. Ms. Grant's amended complaint reveals new details that further demonstrates the sexual abuse Janelle Grant suffered at the hands of Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, and pulls back the curtain on the dangerous workplace culture McMahon created at WWE. Ms. Grant looks forward to holding her abusers accountable in a court of law. This comes from Grant's lawyer, Ann Callis. No relation to Don Callis. Cue that creepy music in a statement. So the lawsuit was submitted to the U.S. District Court in Connecticut. Grant alleges that the WWE was negligent in allowing McMahon's behavior to go unchecked. One of the men previously named in the lawsuit, John Laurinaitis, claims that he too was a victim of McMahon. Now, here's where we were kind of hearing rumblings there of Michael P.S. Hayes. Another WWE legend, Michael Hayes, is also named in the new filing with Grant, alleging McMahon told her to make pornographic content for him. At the time, Hayes worked as part of the wrestling company's creative team. So apparently McMahon was, hey, hon, won't you send some risque kind of, show us some boobies, show us some, and basically Michael Hayes and them tech crew so they can see this content, basically. Nasty. Other names in the new complaint include Vince McMahon's daughter and former co-CEO Stephanie McMahon, WWE President Nick Khan, former COO Brad Bloom, and former legal executive Brian Nurse. In another section, Grant accuses McMahon of sending her nude photos to others without her consent. At one point, Grant also says McMahon recorded her naked while he was on a video call with Laurinaitis. Now, do y'all remember the Vince McMahon docu-series on Netflix? Of course you do, especially if you were checking out my reviews here on this channel. We're going over each episode and everything. Well, apparently, there is, remember the scene where Vince McMahon is one of the early episodes. Vince McMahon is in a boardroom and you see, Nick Khan, Triple H, Paul Levesque, like you see the usual suspects. You see Vince McMahon, looks like he's looking at something on his phone or whatever. You're not really sure what it is because, we're not looking at his phone from over his shoulders with that over the shoulder camera shot angle and all of that. Well, apparently, Janelle Grant is claiming that, that particular scene, she was sending him explicit messages and photos because apparently Vince McMahon, was taking his phone and, hey, look, Johnny is here, John Laurinaitis, and yeah. Text messages in the new filing detail McMahon discussing his authority in arranging her sexual encounters and discussing his fantasies involving her. Now, something new that we were not aware about before is apparently Janelle Grant has voice recordings with McMahon. As in one of the voice messages, McMahon allegedly pressed Grant to sign an NDA really fucking fast. And in another message, he allegedly said, I'm the only one who owns you and controls you. Correction. I'm the only one who owns you and controls who I want to fuck you. Jesus Christ almighty. Vince McMahon's representatives, they've responded to the new allegations, saying, quote unquote, as expected, the proposed amended complaint is nothing more than the latest publicity stunt in an ongoing smear campaign. It is filled with desperate falsehoods from a team that continues to disregard the law and the truth. The statement given to reporter BJ Bethel. Oh my God, his name BJ. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. So that is what's pretty much going on there. I mean, there's a lot more nook and cranny, but basically the meat and potatoes. That's pretty much what you really want to be focusing on there. Pretty damaging. Pretty damaging. And of course, WWE wants to do everything in their power to not have this go to trial. You know, they want to have this basically be behind closed doors because they want to try to settle this, move on as quick as humanly possible away from this and everything. But yeah, you know what? There was one other thing that was interesting. Now I should note that for those of you that's like Triple H, Paul Levesque, Triple H, Paul Levesque is not named in this new 104 page. He's not named. However, if I remember correctly, the reason why Nick Khan is in there is Janelle Grant alleges that from I think John Laurinaitis' room. Somehow they were supposed somehow with the blueprint schematics and all that, somehow there was like this not a tunnel, but basically there was this pathway that they were considering to have be built, as this pathway would connect from either Vince McMahon and or John Laurinaitis to Triple H's office. Yeah, very, very, very weird. But no, Triple H, Paul Levesque not named in this. Does this mean that he totally is innocent? He had no clue and all this other stuff. Like, you know, I'll leave that up to debate for you guys and all that. But yeah, I ain't touching it. I don't even want to speculate on that shit. My whole thing is let's see where the chips fall, and then we just go from there. But very interesting. Now, see, what I can't help but wonder is going forward, what's going to happen there with Michael Hayes, because as far as I know, if I'm not mistaken, Michael Hayes is still involved in the WWE. So I wonder if we maybe are going to see him get separated by WWE very, very soon, because you know there's a bus flip that's coming. So I can't help but wonder if Michael Hayes may be part of that bus flip. I'm actually looking right now, just trying to see if he is still with the WWE here. From what I'm able to see, yeah, he's still with the WWE. So I can't help but wonder, like going forward, you know, as we get closer and closer to seeing how this is gonna play out when it goes to trial, if it goes to trial and all that, if WWE is gonna kind of try to distance themselves from any controversy, you feel where I'm coming from. Very interesting that we had all this go down. And then when you think about the Royal Rumble press conference and all that other stuff, I'm sure you guys know exactly where I'm going with that, right? You know, we get the usual suspects that appear asking their little goofy questions. You know, it's the goofy reporters, as I like to call them, right? You know, everybody wants to play it safe, and you know, now that you're done with your match, what are you gonna have for dinner? It's like of all the questions to ask, right? You know, when you finally get the big guns and, you're trying to get them to comment on, some real important stuff, it's like, we dare not ask that question. We like our press credentials. We want to keep coming back. It's that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. I give two fucks not, because look, I don't care who that upsets, because I know who my people are, and I know that my people that are my friends and colleagues, I know they would definitely go there. And it's like, look, if you want to play the footsie game and all that other shit, you want to kiss up and like, go ahead, but that's not gonna have you be taken seriously in my book. Right. You ain't, don't be coming to me thinking you don't get respect from, nah, I'm going to be looking at you like I do with everybody else. It's like, wait a minute. And you're a journalist, apparently? No, you're not a journalist. You're just a television critic. That's what it is at the end of the day. You're a television critic. You just happen to write about men and women in tights. So there's a big difference between, it's funny because when you call it for what it's worth, it's like, oh, you're a TV critic. How dare you? Like they're offended by that. It's like, look, there's nothing wrong being a TV critic. Plenty of TV critics made some really good money for themselves covering The Walking Dead, Power, a couple other giants. Like, there's nothing wrong with calling yourself a TV critic. But, like, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. Other than that, we're at about the hour 21 minute mark. I definitely, besides what happened with Babyface, which we told you about earlier, by the way, for the Grammys to be too busy, the lip syncing and all that other shit, and then you had the in memoriam where they don't even recognize Jack Russell or John Sykes. What the hell? Like, seriously, like shit like that and others is why I don't even bother paying attention to stuff like that. Like, seriously, it's a joke. It's a joke how it's become when it's all said and done. So relatively light. I'm aware of what happened with the Luka Doncic trade there, the blockbuster trade. Look, before anybody asks, man, for Mavericks to be able to pull that off. Look, I'm sure we're going to learn a lot more as the week progresses. I'm hoping that by the time we get to Thursday, we'll learn like so much information, because I am very, very curious what the NBA on TNT crew think about this and everything, because I definitely want to hear their takes. I'm looking at this and, you hear those reports that's out there about Luka. He showed up to training camp 30, 40 pounds overweight, the drinking issues and the prima donna. And you're like, wow, this guy just bought a $35 million home. And now he's going to go play for the Los Angeles Lakers. You look at Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis just bought like a $15 million home. And now he, he was trying to lay down the foundation out there in LA. And now he's up, unless he's going to keep it. And, I've never, in all my years of being a sports fan, I've never heard of such an unprecedented move like this. Because Luka is 25 years old. You can essentially, that is your franchise player. That is definitely the guy. That is an international generational talent. No mistake about it. So for the Mavericks organization to go, yeah, no. And the fact that this summer he was supposed to get his Supermax deal. So you've basically screwed this guy out of an additional, like, I don't know, what is it, like $120 million or whatever? You basically screwed him out of that. You didn't give him the proper notification to not even, run the idea of this trade by him, give him a heads up, give his manager, his agent a heads up. Everybody just blindsided by this. And for what the Mavericks are getting back, like, yeah, I bet the other organizations are pissed because they would have loved it if they had gotten the right to put in a little something of a bid, trying to see if they could acquire his services and all that. You're looking at things from the Lakers side and the fact that AD not aware of this, LeBron blindsided by this, just taken totally off. It's so interesting because when you look at the career of LeBron, both times he was in Cleveland, when he was in Miami, you look at previous years with the Lakers, you know, he might not have been calling the shots, but he definitely had a role. And hey, you know, we're thinking about doing this. What say you? And the fact that this was done without LeBron, his agent, you know, without just all people associated with LeBron, really shows you that this is a changing of the guard here. And essentially, you know, from a Lakers standpoint, it's look, you know, this is great that LeBron is continuing to defy the odds and all that, but you know, there is going to come a time where, you know, LeBron is no more. Like we know for sure he's going to be coming back next season. But you know, now the question becomes before the trade deadline comes and goes, will LeBron exercise his trading clause? You know, based on everything that's happening, will he just say, "Well, you know what, I'm dipping out here, like I'm gone." You know, before everything to go down, and LeBron doesn't have, you know, legit. If LeBron did not know about this and didn't know what was going to happen with AD and all that, you know, that definitely demonstrates to me that the Lakers organization is going, yeah, you know, no, we're taking the reins back. We're going to do this exactly how we see fit, and I just hope they're going to be able to manage Luka. You know, there's a reason why. Was it Rick Carlisle? I'm trying to think who the coach was in managing Luke Doncic a couple of years back. They had a 2-year, I think it was a 2-year contract extension option, and it was like the coach was like, "Yeah, no, I'm good." Like, damn, you don't want to, you know, you got access to the best player in the world here, and you're not going to continue to, you know, there's just so many things that add up. And then you see certain things with, you know, certain things that's being said about Luca and, you know, all the culture and all of that. You know, it's kind of one of those things where it goes back to what I've been saying off and on over the years. If you don't get certain nasty traits of your personality squashed and you get introduced to a shitload of money, those nasty traits is just going to be amplified even more. Bottom line, right? So if you're already an asshole and now we give an asshole a shit ton of money, they're just going to be a bigger asshole. They're just a bigger asshole with shit ton of money, right? So for the Dallas Mavericks to operate this way, it's a telling tale, I feel. And trust me, I think by the time we get to Thursday, we're going to learn a lot more. But for the Lakers organization, this is a damn good grab because you got a 25-year-old who hasn't even hit their prime yet. And you can essentially build around this guy. And when you get ready to renegotiate his contract and all that, you're going to be able to do it for a lot less when it's all said and done. So, you also, as far as the future goes and thinking about your franchise for the next 10 plus years, definitely thinking beyond LeBron and all that. It's a good investment. It's a good investment. So I heard that almost 1 million followers across The Maverick social media accounts pretty much just said deuces. If I'm not mistaken, I think just on Instagram alone, about 700,000 followers said deuce. So that's wild. That is wild. All right. So as far as programming notes go, I don't know. I don't know if we'll do a bonus show. I don't know if we'll do a bonus show for you guys. I'm a little bit on the fence about that. I think I'll just maybe take it easy. We'll play it by ear. We'll play it by ear. But I do know for certain we're going to be doing something this weekend because I'm getting the itch. I want to bring back wrestling with the topics. And Mrs. is like, yeah, anytime you're ready, she's like, let's do it. So I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to do it this weekend. But what I want for you guys to do in the meantime, I want you to be kind, rewind, check out previous episodes you might have missed on demand and on the downloads, wherever you get your podcasts. We dropped a shit ton of shows all last week leading up to tonight, right now in this moment. So piggy on back, check it out. Go vote in the 2024 Wrestling Awards. By the way, before we dip on out of here, shout out to our sponsors, because without awesome sponsors like these guys, content like what you're checking out right now would not be made possible. By the way, shout out to my girl Jessie Jones as she is recovering from breast cancer. She's got a GoFundMe that's up right now. Go support, check that out. Shout out to my good friends over at J Chubb CPA. Visit them at cpachub.com. 2B's in there, cpachub.com. Tax season, whether you're an individual or you have a business, these guys got over 20 years tax experience. You want to make sure you put that to good use. Don't be playing around with them taxes, playing around to the last minute, and then you inaccurate with your filing, and it gets kicked back. Nah, get it done right the first time. Hit the guys up at JChubb CPA, cpachub.com, or you can call area code 248-943-2503 or area code 248-719-5817. We're also brought to you in part by the good folks at TrendRebel.pro. If you are trying to figure out how to get into stock trading, these guys have made it very, very easy, as it's for beginners. So if you know nothing about it, it's beginner friendly. What they offer, as you could become a subscriber and unlock your trading potential with Trend Rebel, as you'll receive access to the trading floor, advanced insights for stocks, cryptos, detailed trading ideas and pivot points, all that stuff. So check them out. TrendRebel.pro. We're also brought to you in part by A Seat at the Table, One Leader's Journey to Embracing Democratic Leadership, the new book by Jeremiah Garcia Bach. Pick up your copy today over on Amazon. Carable, the app, which is a personalized AI avatar digital companion, speaks and understands every language, provides emotional AI support, mental health, so much more, available for iOS and the Google Play Store. Check those guys out. PorcelainPack.com. Revive your throne time with this ultimate throwback, as you can experience a curated collection of vintage, antique, and nostalgic gems in each box to turn your bathroom breaks from a to a oh. I'm talking classic magazine, comic books, handheld games, little knick-knack games, things of that nature. You remember how it was when you used to go to the bathroom. You come out about 30 minutes later, have your friends and family kind of looking at y'all cockeyed, like, what the hell were you doing in there? You just, having fun, reading your little magazine, whatever. I know for me, when I was growing up, for me, it was either a really good Wizard magazine or heavy metal, or maybe it would be a jumbo coloring book. I used to love those big, up until I was like in my teenage years, I would get those really big jumbo coloring books. Y'all know the kind I'm talking about. They would have one that be for Batman, Superman, Hulk, Spider-Man, and you could either color it with crayons, or if you wanted to go in with ink, which is what I would typically do, I would go in with ink. I would also go in with Sharpies and all that, right? They make it really fun. Check them out, porcelainpack.com. And yeah, those are all our sponsors. Love those guys. Shout out to friends of the show. Shout out to Mitch Thomas, Joe Numbers of Wrestling Soup. Shout out to Julian Cannon of Digiday and the Nocturnal. I know Julian's going to be doing some exclusive Super Bowl reporting because he's supposed to be out this weekend. As far as my Super Bowl picks go, I don't care. I don't care. That's not me being butthurt. That's just me. I don't care. I mean, if you were to force me to pick a team, I guess Eagles, but I really don't care. I'm more interested in hitting the road that weekend and making money because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be looking to get fed and special deliveries and all that. So I'm more interested in being on the road making money as opposed to the game. I think by the time the game comes on, because me and my wife were already talking about it because she don't care about the game. Like, we don't even care about the commercials this year. Like, that's how, my whole thought process is I'll just watch all the commercials online. I'll just do it that way. But yeah, I don't care about the game this year. I am more interested in just kicking back, seeing a movie or whatever around that time frame. So that's how I'm gonna roll. But I'm going with the Eagles. If you were to pick my brain as far as like what the final score may be, I'm gonna say Eagles. I'm gonna say Eagles 37, Chiefs. I'm gonna say Chiefs 29. 29. Yeah, Eagles 37, Chiefs 29. That's where I'm going with that one. All right, get at your man all throughout social media. Use the keywords the RCWR show. I'm also up on Blue Sky as well. You enjoyed this. Yo, go hit up the YouTube page already, man. YouTube.com/the RCWR show. Subscribe. Man, play some of the episodes, hit the like button, like walk away when you got the videos playing. Help us, get the boost retention time up, all that good jazz. Get more eyeballs on the content. You feel me? Till next go round, my pretty babies. Wishing all of y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you guys next go round. Adios, y'all. Take care.